Hey y'all, welcome back to Sundays with the Sowahs. How you feeling
Yes, it's
today?
Sunday. It's Sunday,
Yeah.
and I feel good.
Yeah.
Feel good because I
Uh-huh.
went to church. Did you go to church?
Hey man, I went to church. I was there with you.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Did y'all go to church today? We hope you went to church today.
yeah.
All right, y'all, listen. Today we are going to be telling the story of how we went from being engaged to married in just 10 days.
10
That's right.
days.
Exactly. You
Wow,
heard us
wow,
correctly.
10
From
days.
engaged to married in 10 days. All right. So, if you all like this video and other content that we are putting out, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. You can hit that subscribe button, and that will notify you every time that we go live with a brand new episode. You can also like this video and be sure to leave a comment letting us know what you think and what other types of content or material or topics and information you want us to cover. You ready to get into it?
I am fully ready. Are you ready to listen to?
I think they're ready.
Yeah, that's good.
It's Sundays with the Sowahs. Good vibes only come closer. Laugh, love, and live together. It's Sundays with the Sowahs. It's Sundays with the Sowahs. Good vibes only come closer. Laugh, love, and
All right, y'all. So you heard it right. We are going to be telling the story of how we went from being engaged to being married in just 10 days and why there were very few people who knew about us getting married. We going to spill the tea, y'all, because, yeah, there's definitely a reason and we gotta tell the whole story, right? We're finally ready to tell our truth, but before we get to that, let's back it up a little bit. In one of the last videos, I think we left off in like December 2022,
Yeah,
yeah, which was my first long trip to Ghana.
yeah,
And this was at the point we were already in premarital counseling. We were living together technically at this point.
yeah.
I had planned to stay for 30 days, but I ended up being here for almost 4 months. And yeah, I landed on, I think it was like December 8th or December 9th. And because we had already been doing all of the things in terms of preparing for marriage, I just knew that my proposal was coming on like December 10th. Okay. Like when your girl landed, I mean, I just trekked across the ocean. I felt like my proposal was just going to be waiting on me. And it was to the point that, it kind of got frustrating after a while when it didn't happen when I first landed. I was like, okay, maybe it'll happen on Christmas, maybe New Year's Eve, maybe New Year's Day. And then by the time we got to like mid January and I had been in Ghana for a month, I was like, all right, now, like, but what's up? But before I get into the story from my perspective, why don't you give the people, some behind the scenes on, uh, your process preparing to propose, what you were thinking, going through all of that.
Well, when she arrived in December, she said she was waiting for the proposal. I was also trying to assess more. This time around, it took almost 3 months, right?
Like to.
No, like 2 months. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because I needed to know more about who I'm actually about to propose to.
Yeah.
Talking on phone is way different from staying together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to know more, see more, and I wanted her to also see the mafia side of me too,
Mm.
to see if yes, we are truly meant to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we stayed together, we learned a lot about each other.
Mm.
And then on getting close to Valentine, that was February, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let's see what is happening in February. So December passed.
Yeah.
January, there's no special occasion in January.
Yeah.
I realized February, no, Valentine's Day. And every year I want to celebrate Valentine.
Mm-hmm.
And every year I want to remember the day I proposed.
Mm-hmm.
That was why I decided to, put it on a Valentine's Day. I felt something within me that this lady has been waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That something might have been the fact that I eventually mentioned it and was like,
Yeah.
so what's going on?
Yeah. I don't know if that was the main reason why she decided to stay for a long time.
No, because I wanted to be here. I mean, literally, that first month went by so fast. And anybody that so fast, anybody, especially like if you're in a relationship and it's long distance, like that time goes by really, really fast. And then it's something about like getting settled into a routine and like a flow together that takes time. Even now, like this time that when I just came back, I feel like, so I've been back now for a little bit. And but I feel like it took maybe like almost 2 months for me to really get settled this time, even though we've been married, have a home, like all of that. It just took time. It really takes time. So when the first month came, it really kind of snuck up on me. I feel like I wasn't, I didn't realize that it was coming so quickly, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me continue my story.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I decided to use these 2 months to know more about her,
Yeah.
connect with my family, you know, like I said in the previous episode that my mom told me, hey, this is the lady. And I wanted my mom to assess her well. But my family was 100% good. They were like, hey, move straight to the altar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I decided to move it to the Valentine's, the Valentine's Day. And anytime I hear Valentine, I remember the proposal day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. But there was so much of God in the fact that you did it on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna come back to that in a second, and I'm gonna come back to why I personally think and know that it's really important for women to be patient and to allow God to tell the man like when to propose and all of that.
That is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
and even I planned for it just in a week.
Yeah. Okay, so tell them a little bit about your planning process. I feel like a lot of men don't share the planning process, but you were able to like bring together like all of our people and just all the things. Like it was good.
Just a week. And some people told me, hey, it's Valentine. Propose on a Valentine Day. I didn't even think twice. I just went straight. I called one or two friends.
Yeah.
Called my family, my younger sisters, my siblings. I told them, hey, this is what we want to do. They were like, come on, let's go.
Yes.
So the team, we came together, we planned, and then we made it happen.
Yes. Yeah. Can we just interject that we love our sisters? Like, y'all don't even understand like the love that I have. I just call them our sisters. Like,
yeah.
Literally, love your sisters. Like they are amazing and have been from the very beginning. If you watch one of the previous videos when we were talking about like when I met, we mentioned how one of your sisters, I literally met her when I came on vacation because she like ended up leaving work to bring me an extra suitcase. It was a whole thing. But from the beginning, the whole family has just been like very supportive. But those sisters, I love those sisters. Those are my girls. Yeah. I'm sorry, continue. I just wanted to interject that.
Yeah, so I went through the internet to see pictures of people proposing. Yeah.
I love a man that does his research.
Yeah, go see pictures, and I saw one. There was one guy at the beach with a lady. I said, no, let me go to the beach.
Yeah.
Let me go to the beach. I called one or two friends for advice, and they're like, no, it's perfect. So let's do it. So I was thinking of what to buy, the decorations and all that. And I saw some other things. So I called my sister because she's the secretary.
Yes.
She's the secretary.
Oh.
So I called her. I was like, hey, how do we do this? Me, I'm confused. And she was like, oh. So I sent her the picture. She was like, oh, I have a friend who has this. We can buy it, and then and even the proposal ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused,
Mm-hmm.
nervous. Proposal ring. I told the same sister. I was like, oh, I have some lady who sells rings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, call her, call her. She called, sent me pictures. Then I chose one.
Mm-hmm.
Then she brought it the same day.
Oh, I never knew.
Same day.
Ah.
So yeah, I think when we arrived at the hotel, right?
Mm,
I told her we were going to swim. That day she wasn't too well.
yeah.
I don't know why she wasn't too. Why was it because we were still waiting for the proposal?
Please. No, I wasn't. I think I just had like an upset stomach or something. I don't remember, but
Yeah,
I was like, I remember just being like really weak and kind of like in the bed
yeah.
all day the day before.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I don't remember exactly what was wrong, but I just
yes.
wasn't feeling, 100%.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling 100%, and
Uh-huh.
she wasn't happy.
Mm,
Yeah, so I told her I want us to go swim and then pool when we
mm-hmm,
had nobody.
mm,
And she was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea." We packed our stuff and all that. Miranda went to the beach so early. She
yes.
called me. How you? Was like, oh, we are coming. Take it easy, madam. Yeah, so we moved straight to the beach. But on our way going, I was making some calls,
Mm-hmm,
calling the friends
mm.
and my friends. Oh, I kept smiling, smiling,
And I was
smiling.
miserable. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I felt
she was,
so
yes,
terrible.
yes, yes.
Yeah, we have video of me in the
She
car.
didn't expect that at all. She
Yeah,
was so thinking about her not feeling well.
yeah.
Like, don't worry, I'm about to give you some medicine, some
Uh,
medications. You feel well soon. So we were at the hotel sitting down, and I told her, oh, I want to take a walk at the beach.
mm.
She was like, okay, let's go. So yeah, we took a walk at the beach, and then I saw some red lab, right?
Yeah, yep. Hearts, and it was like hearts drawn in the sand and
Yes.
heart confetti and heart
And I
balloons.
was like, what is it? What is this? Who
Yes,
did this? Why did somebody come to propose there?
I literally was looking, and I was so confused. I felt terrible.
Yeah.
I was so confused. So, like, we walked over, you kind of guided me to the circle.
Yeah.
I remember actually looking and seeing like the balloon because I think they had like the balloon like anchored in the
Oh yeah.
ground. Yeah,
Okay.
and I remember looking and being like, it's like, who put this here? And that's when we both said
Yeah.
something about like the
Yeah.
proposal or whatever.
Yeah.
Super cute. So we just kept walking like closer to investigate. And then next thing I know, next thing I know, we are in the circle.
Yeah.
But wait, before you tell that part, I want to tell my part kind of leading up to
Okay.
this moment, right? So basically, I mean, I think you hit a lot of the nails on the head and like didn't miss too much. But I did like in January after I had been there for like a month. I think I started feeling like, okay, when is the proposal happening? Because I had only initially planned to stay for a month, right? Like I
Yeah.
wasn't even going to be there for longer than a month. So when we were like getting closer to that 1 month mark, I'm like, hello, like you need to like at least hurry up and propose because at some point I got to go back to the States. So I think that was a lot of like the anxiety and just feeling like, okay, when is this going to happen? Um, you know, we both obviously invested a lot, but I'm like, I'm the one that hopped across the ocean.
Yeah.
Um, we're in premarital counseling. Like, again, we're doing all the things. So when is this going to come? And I want to say maybe like around mid-January, I had been really quiet about it. And, we were just doing life together.
Yeah.
But by the time we got to like mid-January, feel like it was starting to show in like my attitude in certain ways. So I wanted to like had to get it off my chest basically. And I mentioned to you, I was like, yeah, like when are we getting engaged? I
Yeah.
remember us sitting at the dining room table at
Yeah.
our old apartment, and me, kind of asking the question, and you were like, listen, don't worry, like, like it's coming soon type of thing. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I was feeling some type of way. but he was literally like, "Don't worry, like it's coming soon. It's gonna happen soon." And I kind of just like let it go. And I mean, I really didn't have a choice, right? I
There
couldn't
you
be
go.
mean, couldn't be mean or nasty to you or anything like that. And that's not my heart toward you is to be mean or nasty, but that doesn't really benefit anybody. And I'm not into the idea of like pressuring a man to do anything. And up until that point, I had allowed you to lead with everything. Like the timing of everything in the union, right? I was following his lead and just following the different cues and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And that really worked for me. It
Mhm.
really worked for us to really allow you to lead. And that's something I would recommend to any woman. Like it's okay for you to communicate your desires, what you want, your thoughts, all of those things, but let that man be the one that is leading and directing like when you
Yeah.
all are gonna move to the next stage. And if you feel like it's really taking too long or they're not serious about it or whatever, I feel like that's a different conversation. But he was showing in all of the actions, he was showing that this is something that we're progressively moving forward with. So even though I felt some type of way about it, I knew that I just had to relax and like, fall back and remember everything that he had shown me up till that point was he was serious about me. He's invested and that this is something, that's moving
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so yeah, I mean, like after I said something, I just chilled out, enjoyed. We were doing counseling. I want to say like bi-weekly. So like every other week we had counseling and we were just doing life together. But I think you touched on something that's really important, especially for long distance couples and for any couple that's dating. I mean, if you're a Christian, um, there are multiple reasons why it is not wise for you to live together before marriage. We'll talk. I think we should do another video about that. Like, basically, like, how did we end up living together before marriage? I don't know that it was the plan or that it wasn't the plan. It's just kind of like how it happened. But, how did we continue to like honor God, honor one another? Like, I feel like that's another video, for another time.
Yeah.
And especially because a lot of people assumed that we were married based on, things that we were sharing, like when we finally revealed on Christmas morning that we were together and we were like in our Christmas pajamas.
Yeah.
A lot of people obviously was like, yeah, if y'all in pajamas, then there's a lot of assumptions that are made. And one of those assumptions is I feel like most people and people later shared this that most people kind of lean to that they just assumed that we had gotten married like quietly just because they know us individually and like our integrity
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But again, we'll talk about that in a future video. So yeah, we just went back to like doing life together and just doing the things, dating or courting at this point,
Yeah.
getting to know one another and going through our counseling. So I think that once we got to like February, it was kind of again, I just went back into like chill mode and enjoying the stage that we were in because there was so much beauty in that. And that's another like piece of advice that I would give to anybody who is in a godly relationship, and especially if you sense that God is putting like a supernatural speed on your relationship like what we experience.
Yeah.
um you have to be intentional about enjoying every stage of the union. Like it's really important because the stages go so fast. And one of the things that I always tell people is you never get that phase back, right? You'll never go back to just being friends. You'll never go back to just being, courting. You'll
Yeah.
never go back to just being engaged, right? All of these things that like lead up to the big moment of being married, you'll never go back to, those things. So you have to be intentional about enjoying them. And that's the space that I had shifted back to was being present where we were in our journey.
Yeah.
And then um on Valentine's Day, right? I feel like again, like I hadn't been feeling well leading up to it. So I feel like we had discussed like Valentine's Day plans, and that's when you had told me like, oh, we'll go to the beach and stuff like that.
Yes, we
Um,
discussed the plan, and I brought up another plan.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was like, let's go to the beach and like basically let's go for sunrise. And initially, when we talked about it, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then when I started not feeling well, it was like, wait a minute, I don't know that I'm going to be able to basically get up and be there
Yes.
for sunrise. And I remember the apartment that we were living in, we could actually see the sunrise from our bedroom window. It would just like come up on that side of the building. And I remember thinking, like, we can watch the sunrise from home because I wasn't feeling well. But thankfully, I went along with the program.
Yeah.
And then you wanted me to wear all white, right? Remember when you had told me, you were asking me, like, oh, do you have anything that's all white? And I'm like, I don't have anything, that is white. And this is why everybody else on the day was dressed in white, was because we were supposed to be dressed in white. So the closest thing I had was the blue dress that I wore that had some white in it. Because I had nothing, with me that was all white. Yeah. So, we made it through that morning. I was just moving really slow, taking my time getting ready. And when we got to the beach, he told me he had to go, to the washroom, and that he wanted to check and see if breakfast was ready because this particular hotel serves like a breakfast buffet, right? And he walks like behind me, but I'm looking at the breakfast buffet being open, right? I was sitting down by the pool, but you could see people going in the room where the breakfast buffet is, and he comes back and it's like, oh, the buffet isn't open yet, right? Like, oh, it's not prepared. And I'm like, but it's right there. Oh. But again, I wasn't feeling well. So I'm not even like putting two and two together in my head. And that's when you was like, well, let's go walk to the beach first and then we'll come back and go to the breakfast buffet thing or whatever. So we so I agreed, and we got to the beach, we see the hearts, and I'm looking and I'm like, it's like super cute. Like, I wonder if somebody like proposed, or did somebody put this out here for Valentine's Day? Like, this is really cute. I'm lost in the sauce, like so lost. And then we step into the circle, and I'm like, oh my God, is this for us? Like, what is happening right now? And think no, you didn't turn your phone around yet. I think you just like dropped down on one knee and just propose. Yeah.
That's what they say. You go on your knee.
Yes. So he just dropped down on his one knee, and proposed. And of course, we have, the video of that. Because I was that's how you got me to record. But as we were walking to the beach, you stepped in front of me and you were like, oh, record a video of me like walking to the beach, like, kind of like a behind the scenes thing. Yeah. I forgot about that. Because I was like, how was I recording? You had asked me to start recording on my phone. And then he dropped down to the one knee, proposes. And then out of nowhere, it was just like, was so in the moment, but I'm hearing people like screaming and cheering. And I'm like, what? Who's like screaming and cheering? And I turn around and it doesn't register at first, but I'm like, oh my God, these are our people, like our friends, and some family. And they all came running up. They had been hiding somewhere, so they all came running over. I was just like, felt like I was all over the place. And then he turned the phone around and showed me like there were some people like on video and stuff like that. And I really appreciate it. Oh, it was my mom. Yes, it was my mom.
So when I was working with you, I had your mom
on the video the whole time. Yeah. So and I appreciate, those family members. There were other people, that knew about it and were invited, but it was very early in the morning. I think it was like maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, on the East Coast of the United States. One of my girlfriends lives in the central time zone. So I think it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning for her. But in any event, there were some people there from the States, some of our people, locally. And it was just really, a very special moment. Yeah, very, very special. And I bust out crying like when I saw like my people, like, and again, that you were able to include anybody, right? it was really, really special to me. It really was, that anybody could be present, that anybody could be on the video. Cause I don't think that I think in my heart, I had just accepted that like, that wouldn't be able to be a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that it would either just be like me and you, or maybe like, your family and friends here, which obviously have become my family and friends. But that was kind of like what I had accepted in my heart. So to see that there was anybody who was present on video, in person, whatever, that was really, really touching to me. And I did not cry until I saw my people. When I realized that, yeah, it was like, some of my people there. That is what made me cry. This is not the original ring, Martin.
Where is it?
It's upstairs.
Why no in it?
Because it doesn't go with my outfits.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so we did that, and then the group of us, we ended up going to we actually went to breakfast. In Labadi they have like a really nice, like, elevated, fancy buffet type of thing. Which is so interesting because I don't actually like buffets. Like, I cannot stand going to buffets.
Yeah.
I'm more of a, and we've talked about this before, right?
Yeah.
We're really actually not like buffet people.
Okay.
But it was perfect. Like, it was literally so perfect. And I'm so glad that that's what we did.
Yeah.
Sat down, hung out, took more photos, ate as much food as we possibly could. And then I feel like we ended up going back home because like after the proposal, I will say that I started feeling energized and like better. Been better, of course, but yeah, we ended up going back home, and I just got back in the bed. I was like, I have to go lay back down.
Yeah.
My energy is tapped out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our proposal day, and he continued to take care of me as he did.
Yeah.
This was the second time, because on my first trip you had to take care of me with my upset stomach because I had eaten something bad when I was here on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we were at hikes. Yeah. Yep. So he had to take care of me then, and then he had to take care of you. Always taking care of me. He's very good at taking care of me. Thank you,
I
Benny.
am a doctor.
He is. Dr. MJ. Dr. Martin.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's move it along. So we got engaged on Valentine's Day. Oh, wait, I did want to tell this part. So one of the things, or actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for the end. I'm gonna save that for the end. Let's keep going because I want to tell them about why everything that happened in February was so God ordained for the timing.
Oh.
Yeah, from my perspective. So let's keep going though. So we got engaged on Valentine's Day, and honey did a good job. It was very sweet. I felt, very special. And again, I just feel like you exceeded, what I thought could happen or what I thought was even gonna be like possible.
Yeah.
So that was really, really special and really good. And then yeah, I want to say a couple days later, you came to me and was like, "Hey, we should get married."
Yeah.
On like, I forget what day.
Everything was programmed.
Yeah, it was all planned out.
It was all planned.
Mm.
When was that?
What day did we get married?
Yeah.
February 24th.
Oh, February 24th. And when was Valentine?
14th.
14th.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we got engaged on Valentine's Day, and then we got married on the 24th. And it was something like it. I would say so. When they say elope, let me pull up this definition because, like, did we elope? Yes, but did we not elope? Also, yes. Like, two things are true. So the definition of elope means to run away secretly, especially to get married, without parental consent, right? To run away secretly in order to get married without parental consent. So first and foremost, we are full-blown adults and we didn't need parental consent. We only needed, to follow the spirit of the Lord. But we had initially planned that we were not going to get married until like our actual wedding day. Yeah. Now, of course, as soon as we got engaged, anybody that's ever been engaged, this is how it goes. As soon as we got engaged, here comes everybody. But when is the wedding? When is the wedding? When is the wedding? And I'm like, dang, can we enjoy like being engaged? Yeah. And I'm glad that we kind of stopped all of that because we didn't know. Of course, on the day we got engaged, we didn't know that we were only going to be engaged for 10 days, right? And we're so blessed because we actually have a lot of friends around us, pretty much, say, pretty much all of my friends that got married, that have been married in like the past 5 to 7 years. All of them got married within a short amount of time after being engaged. And they went and did like the courthouse, or what they call here the signing, going to the magistrate, whatever. So we had these really beautiful examples of like how the Lord would move supernaturally, in other unions and stuff like that. So we didn't know, of course, on Valentine's Day that we were only going to be engaged for that short period of time. But why would you say, like, from your perspective, what do you feel like God was saying in terms of like the actual day that we would get married and then like doing our wedding later? Like, what do you feel like God was speaking to you at that time? Or
Well, once I proposed, even me, I wished the proposal day we could marry the same day.
oh, that's so special. You love me so much.
Exactly. To me, there was no time to waste,
Very
We
good.
just have to go straight
Mm,
to the point.
mm,
You understand?
yeah.
So, yeah, God told me, hey, MJ, she's yours. So
Mm,
the ball is in your court.
mm,
So do whatever you want to do.
yeah, very good.
Yeah.
That's so good. I really like that. And don't, I mean, we love a man that don't play around. Like, and
Yeah.
that's one thing I can say that from the beginning. This is also why, even though I started feeling some type of way how about how long. And it's crazy that I got impatient because literally from the day that we met to the day that we got married was 9 months. It is insane to be impatient in 9 months, like seriously. But I felt like such a peace about just falling back and relaxing because you have been very clear from the time that we met before I got back on that plane in June of 2022 that he was committed, and everything he did after that proved that he was committed and that he was serious and that we, were moving forward. So when you came to me with the thought or whatever, after the Lord revealed what you just shared and you told it to me, I was just like, okay, well, I also want to pray, right? Again, yes, I'm following your lead, but I also have to be led, by the spirit of the Lord and all of that. And I took, my time to pray and seek the Lord. And it was very much the same thing. Like, what are we waiting on? Like, I mean, because again, we're already journeying together. We're taking the steps and making the conversation, having the conversations to build a life together. We know that we want to be together. And this is why, for me, I think I don't really understand why people like play around with it. I am absolutely, I mean, obviously, right? We are team get married, right? You can always have a wedding later, whether you choose to have one person present as a witness or a small group of people. It's your parents, it's this, it's that, whoever you decide to have there. And that's also your choice as well. Okay, that's also your choice
And
as well.
even me, the most important thing was us going through process.
Yeah.
Going through the process, and that is the most important thing. Once you go through the counseling and everything,
Yeah.
you are good to go. And we did all that.
That's so good.
Yeah, we did all that. So
Yeah.
what are we waiting for again?
That's very good.
Yeah.
We had done everything that needed to be done. I like that. That really just blessed me because I think people just like in general with so many things that we can drag our feet on things and like be delaying things when it's like if you've already crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's, what else are you like waiting on? Like what else are you waiting on? So we ended up we were actually going to get married a little sooner, but I don't think they had like availability or something when we first went down to the office to like do the paperwork.
Okay, so when we did the paperwork, once you are done, the following week is when
Yeah.
they give you a slot.
Yeah. So here in Ghana, if you get married through like think you guys call it the magistrate, but the signing, going down to like their equivalent
Yeah.
of like the courthouse, right?
Yeah.
When you get married, you go and you apply. This is the same thing in the States. You apply for like your marriage license, pay your fee, all of that, and then they will give you, you know, the day that you will get married and the time in which you are supposed to get married.
Yeah.
When we got married, they were still on COVID protocol, which I'm really grateful for,
Yeah.
because that meant, I think it was maybe one other couple in their family
Yeah.
in the room.
Yeah.
But we've been to weddings or marriage ceremonies since then where it was like 50 or 60 couples in a room and like their people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been to some really big ones, but we were still, yes, we were, when we did it, it was still under COVID protocol. So that also limited like the number of people that we
Yeah.
could invite and like
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? So we got our slot for the following week, and you know, we went down on the 24th, and yes, straight away, and we got married, and it was one of the easiest and best decisions that I have ever made in my life. Is yeah, following the Lord. Like, it was so easy and just so peaceful and no concerns, like none of those sorts of things. And I remember, you know, after our like actual marriage ceremony, you know, as people would find out, or you know, people who knew from the States, they would be like, you know, well, I wish I was there for it, or you know, all of those sorts of things. And what I had to remind people then, and I will remind people forever, is because we are a long distance, like our families are long distance, and we were a long distance relationship at that point, there's going to be things. One of the sacrifices that you make is that both sides of the family are not going to be able to be present for every single thing. And I think for the long distance couples, you know, this is, I feel like that was step one in us doing what works for the two of us. There were some people who, you know, were very upset. I mean, very upset about,
Really?
oh, yeah, definitely.
About what?
About the fact that we got married and they didn't know.
So, my point is,
Yeah.
now we are here.
Yeah.
It's all about us.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to marriage, it's the man and the woman.
Yeah.
So even sometimes I don't know why people would get upset about things like this.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean we don't love you or anything, but it's just our decision, and you have to respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So for any couple that's thinking about like, you know, getting married before having a wedding, this is your first lesson in, it's just the two of you, right? And granted, like again, we have an amazing village, amazing support on both sides of our family, but at the beginning and end of every single day, it is him, it is me, it is the Lord, right? And the big decisions, the small decisions, all of those things. So, you know, we went and did it, and there was so much peace and so much joy. Like, we had such a good day. And then we went out to eat to one of our favorite restaurants, just the two of us. Even the people that were there in person, we didn't even invite anybody to come with us to brunch. We just went and had, you know, our post wedding brunch. We didn't eat nobody's king K. We went to our favorite restaurant that serves American breakfast, and had a really good time there. And then we went back to, you know, our apartment. And think, you know, for couples that are planning to elope, you know, even if it's a loose definition of elope, you know, couples that are planning to elope, or you have eloped or whatever, I would encourage you to still make your day special. You know, we picked out our outfits. We, you know, I did my makeup. Like, it wasn't anything, it really wasn't anything fancy, right? I picked out a dress. Once again, our sisters helped me find a dress. So picked a dress. Yeah, they helped me to find a dress to wear. I did my makeup at home. I didn't even have a fresh hairdo. Like, my hair wasn't even freshly twisted. Like, I just, you know, did a little something, something with it, because all that mattered in that moment was we knew that this is what God was calling us to do. And we knew that this was what we wanted to do as well. And we just wanted to focus on being present and like having the joy in the moment, whatever that looked like for us on that day. Yeah. Yeah. So after that, I mean, we went back to our apartment. And we'll talk about that in another yeah, we'll talk about that in another video, but consummated the marriage or whatever. But we'll talk about, why we waited. Most people don't know that. I mean, not that it's really anybody's business, but now, not that it was anybody's business, but now we're in a space where we can, talk about that and why we waited and all of those sorts of things, managing expectations. We'll do all of that in another video. But yeah, I mean, it was a really great experience. 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. I will be honest that our first year of marriage was more peaceful than the year after our wedding. Would you say that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. That year, between the time that we got married and our wedding versus the wedding and our second anniversary. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was like night and day. And I don't know. I mean, we'll, share that part of our testimony in a future video as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that it's because like of the wedding and like once people knew that things kind of hit the fan, because that would just be crazy. And nobody has that kind of power, over our union and stuff like that. But um it's something that should be noted that first year when everybody just thought that we were engaged and we were navigating marriage, we had no pressure, when nobody pressuring us, asking us when we were going to have kids.
Yeah.
Nobody was asking, well, when's he coming to the States?
Yeah.
Or are you staying in Ghana forever? When will
Yeah.
y'all move back? Like all of these questions that add this pressure. We had none of that because everybody just thought that we were engaged. This is why I will forever be a proponent of getting married quietly. It wasn't a secret, but it was private, right? There's a difference between secrecy and privacy. Getting married privately and quietly because there was just so much peace that we had, and we were able to navigate that first year of marriage without everybody else and their questions, their pressure, their judgments, their concerns, and how things based on some of the things that we experienced in the wedding planning process and after our wedding, and even at our wedding, all that did was affirm the decision and how much God loves us. Exactly. And how much he protected us in having us be married for a full year before our wedding. Like, I will forever, forever, forever advocate for that. Yeah. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah. So we'll talk about that
in another video.
in another video. Okay.
The man of God said we moving on, okay? Because there's a lot that we will talk about and can share. But again, just so that it's abundantly clear, 100 out of 10, highly recommend getting married quietly and privately and enjoy, that first year of, or it doesn't even have to be a year, right? I know some people that, kept it quiet for a few months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. Some people that never shared, right? I know a lot of people who to this day no one publicly knows that they were actually married before their wedding, right? I know a lot of people who just never said anything and kept it quiet or whatever. So yeah, we'll talk about navigating, relationship dynamics with other people, family, friends, the larger community, stereotypes, assumptions. We're going to talk about all of that. And that's really one of the main reasons that we're even doing this podcast, is to bring these things to light, to talk about them, and to give a safe space for other people who may be experiencing the same thing, because we didn't have anybody to talk to.
We had somebody.
The Lord.
Yes.
Amen. Amen. That's good. That just made me a little bit emotional because we didn't have like what we try to be and what we have been for other couples specifically multicultural couples, we didn't have any other person or another couple that we could confide in or that understood the things that we were navigating um and all of that, right? So now, like, this is why we do things like the couples Bible study and all of the other things that you guys will see us do as a couple. It is literally because we just want to be for other couples what we needed, and to be that in, a really healthy way. So I'm gonna get off of that because that's making me obviously emotional. So yeah, I'm good. Yep. So, yep, that's our engagement and elopement story. I don't think that I have anything else that I want to share on this story. You got anything else, funny?
Yeah, so like you said, we didn't have any couple, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like, when it comes to marriage or love, it's all customized.
So good. I like that. It's all
Yeah,
customized.
yeah, it's customized
Hmm.
because love is different in different relationship.
Yeah.
You understand? Our love is different from other couples.
Yeah.
We come together and we create our own love.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though we didn't have people like that closer to us, we created our own love, and that is what has really helped us to even know more about each other, and
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And then the last thing that I'll share before we, wrap up today's episode is just really going back to like trusting God and his timing with things. So one of the things that a lot of people don't know is that in February 2022, right? I was in a relationship with someone else who had asked for my hand in marriage. And it was actually, this was a long distance relationship as well. But it was within the United States. We just lived in two different states. And this individual, I had met them in 2021. We were moving along, uh, in a courtship. They had asked, my mom for my hand in marriage. She gave her blessing. And literally at the point that um, they were getting ready to ask my father for his blessing, is kind of like when everything started to like hit the fan, right? Where the Lord was like, no, no, we're not doing this, right? Now I didn't know that was something that was kind of happening in the behind the scenes, like in the background. So I didn't know that that was going on. But I remember going to visit this individual for Valentine's week. I was like there for an entire week. And I remember before I left, I asked them, like, are you sure? Like, Valentine's just felt very, very off. It was like very, very off, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
was really it wasn't the worst, but it was one of the worst Valentine's days that I had ever had. Um, and I remember asking this person before I left to go back to, I was living in North Carolina at the time. Before I left to go back to North Carolina, I remember asking them, like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, are you sure that you want to be married and all of that? And this is why I salute, or it's not why, but it's a part of the reason why I salute you so much, but why I also really encourage women to pay attention to how a man leads. Pay attention to how he leads and everything, and let that man lead. If he wants to be with you, he's going to make it clear that he wants to be with you. So even though everything had not fully hit the fan, there was already something in me that was like, something about this is like a little bit off, right? So I left to go back to North Carolina. The following week, we started our premarital counseling, right? We did our initial session because, again, you asked for my hand in marriage. Let's go to premarital counseling. And literally that week is when everything finally hit the fan. It ended up being, and that day, I want to say the day that we started counseling was like the 20 something of February. I want y'all to keep up with me because I'm going somewhere. It was like the 20 something of February. So we got Valentine's Day, that wasn't a good day. And then like the 20 something of February, that wasn't, that everything kind of like hit the fan. So I went through this really traumatic breakup, right? It was terrible. It was such a traumatic breakup. And then not too long after that, literally this was in February into March, and then I met you in May. This was what the relationship that I was healing from, and why we, took it slow, with being friends and stuff like that. And I was very honest that I was still healing and all of that. So when we got to Valentine's Day, and you proposed on Valentine's Day, and then we got married on the 24th of February. It wasn't until after we got married that I realized what the Lord had done.
Wow.
Listen, I realized what the Lord had done. Okay. Let me tell y'all, for anybody that has experienced like a tremendous heartbreak, um, the Lord can give you a new story. When I say that 1 year later, right, from one of the most, heartbreaking relationships that I had ever been in, 1 year later, that the Lord, and not even 1 year later, within a couple months, right, the Lord brought me someone who was serious, who was persistent, who was consistent, who did not play about me. I mean, MJ has literally been serious about me from the day that we met. And y'all have heard me say that multiple times already. From day one, this man has had my back and has been serious about me, like looking out for me. um, so he brought this person into my life that was patient. When I said that I'm not fully ready and I'm not there yet, he was patient, and, journeyed with me. And even in, you may be like, well, y'all, it was only 9 months. Like, how was he patient? He just was, right? And literally 1 year to the same time of a terrible heartbreak, God was like, I'm going to give you a new story, right? Where February had just been marked by so much pain and disappointment and heartbreak and all of that. God literally rewrote my entire story so that for the rest of our lives, February will be a month of love for us. Like, the whole month, right? Even with us having our wedding was in February, bringing our family and friends to Ghana, that was all in February. Like, God just literally rewrote my entire story and made it an us story.
This is what we mean by rewrote.
Yes. Yeah.
The same day.
Same day.
The worst day.
Yes.
You made it the best.
The best day. Absolutely. Absolutely made it the best day.
Wow.
So for the men and women, men, make sure you are praying and you are led by the Lord in terms of when he wants you to propose. And women, let that man lead. I didn't realize it, but God was just doing something that was better than what I could have ever asked for. And like, God did not forget a single detail. Now, February, like, I look like February is our love month, y'all. Like, it's such a good month for us. And the Lord is so faithful and kind. So even when people are like, well, why did y'all get married in 10 days? And why did it happen on, that particular day? It had to. It had to, because it was a part of God, rewriting my story, but also writing a powerful story for the two of us. So yeah, y'all got to let the Lord lead, man, and do what he says, even if it don't make sense in the moment. It didn't click until after we were married why the Lord had done that, and why he chose that timing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is so cool. And the women out there, trust me, if it doesn't work, because it doesn't work, you tell yourself, hey, I'm not trying again. That is a big mistake.
Yeah.
You understand? That is a very big mistake. If she had told me, hey, I just got out from one and I'm not ready,
Yeah.
what might happen?
Yeah.
But she didn't even mention that. She put that aside.
Oh.
She moved on.
Yep.
And we are here today.
Yep.
So just keep listening to God and not humans.
Yeah.
Listen to God, get closer to God. Yes, human beings will come to say a lot, but you know who you are listening to. Yeah. So yeah, that is how God works. Sometimes the way God does his things, it doesn't make sense to humans.
Mm.
Let God be God. Yeah.
Yeah, so good, so good. All right, so we're gonna stop there because I could definitely keep going on, and then I'll just be on here crying in a second for real, for real. So we're gonna keep it moving. We hope that you all enjoyed this episode. And we hope that you all will come back for future episodes. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on all of our videos. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Sundays with the Sowahs. Bye, y'all.
Bye. We'll see you on Sunday, but make sure you go to church
First.
before
Amen.
you come watch us, okay?
Okay.
Love you all.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.